So, breaking news, the situation with Jason Voorhees is finally reaching its final stages. It's not technically over, but we are in the final stages. Essentially, what has happened is that Victor Miller, once again, apparently has won the rights back to Jason Voorhees and the Friday the 13th series franchise. But it's not completely over, and Sean Cunningham and the others who own, quote, their version of Jason can still keep going with the lawsuit. However, essentially, we are in the final stages of this being resolved. So at this point, he is the rights winner, but again, things can change. Let's get down to business. What does this mean for Jason and the fan? It means a certain version of Jason will finally be appearing soon on the big screen. But we're in the final stages where the rights situation will be clarified, and presumably Victor Miller still wants to make movies to make money from Jason. So it's inevitable that Friday the 13th will finally be returning on the big screen and Jason will be coming back. Now, which version of Jason is very, very unclear. It's essentially winning the rights back from the first film. And if you do know the first film, which a lot of fans seem to forget, Jason was technically not in the film. He's only there as a child. He's sort of a very weird kind of undead child who comes back at the end. But really it's focused on the mother. Again, what does he have the rights to? It seems like he has the right to the name Friday the 13th, to Crystal Lake, to Pamela, and technically to Jason, but Jason as a child. So again, in terms of the fans, what they like about Jason, right, the hockey mask, basically zombie Jason as an adult, he may not have the rights to that. So essentially, Jason will be coming back, but not necessarily the classic Jason. This is really not new if you know Jason. We've had Jason X, and the reason we had Jason X is because Friday the 13th couldn't be used. We've been down this road before with Jason X, where Friday the 13th couldn't be used in the title, so they used Jason X as a kind of substitute. And we had a kind of version of Jason, but not really the real Jason. I imagine Victor Miller is going to basically do the same thing. We're going to get a version of Jason, but not really the classical version of Jason, and that's where we stand. And presumably the rights holder to the other versions of Jason will just make their version of Jason. So ironically, despite this very long hiatus, essentially we're not just going to get one Jason, but perhaps multiple Jasons in the near future. But the lawsuit is not over and they can continue litigating, but it is finally in its final stages. This is a big resolution to what the lawsuit has been going through. I'm technically on the side of Miller. I'm also a beginning writer and I want to do filmmaking myself. But again, even if he does, quote, deserve the rights back, will the Jason franchise be better off? Will Friday the 13th as a mythology be better off? That's unclear. It's unclear what he wants to do with the character, whether he wants to even do the classic character, or he's just going to license it off to another corporation or just sell it to another person. So again, maybe he does deserve the rights, maybe he should get the rights, but is the Friday the 13th going to be better off for it? That's kind of unclear at this moment. But long story short, the legal battle over Jason is now nearing its final stages. So presumably within the next decade or so, we are going to get Friday the 13th back in theaters. Will fans still be interested? Will they like this new version or partial version of Jason? Because again, we're not really going to get classic Jason. That's clear now that that past version is gone. We can lament that or like that, but whatever Jasons we get in the future are going to be very, very particular and very partial interpretation. We're getting something tied to the Friday the 13th mythology, but it's going to be pretty much its own thing. It's definitely going to be a weird situation going from no Jason to perhaps several Jasons, Jason in the multiverse, but there we are. So the legal situation does appear to finally be getting clarified, and the legal barriers to getting Jason are starting to go away, and so we are getting some Jason in the future. Is it Jason we like or love, or even good Jason? Hard to say, but Jason is finally returning, good or bad. Thanks for listening.